we ready? Are we like officially ready to get into this box? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Altknots. Have an entire box. This is all full of yarn. It is upside down. I just now realized that. Huge box of yarn, and a lot of it is spooky yarn. If you've never checked out Hobbii yarn before, they have a ton of spooky yarn out right now. So I'm so freaking excited to go through this with you for this year's edition of Hobbii Halloween yarn. We're gonna go through every single one of these. I have my tablet here so we can pull up the names, everything about every single skein of yarn. Having said that, if you don't have your favorite beverage or coffee, tea, water, take a second, go ahead and grab that. I will wait for you. Come on back and let's dive into this. This yarn was sent to me from Hobbii Yarn. Huge shout out thank you for providing the spooky yarn here in the Yarn Dungeon for Halloween 2022 season. Everything that I'm chatting about will be linked down below. You can find it right away, or you can just click on their site. Right on their page, it is covered in Halloween just spookiness. Yarn patterns, a lot of the patterns are free patterns too. So if you find some yarn that you love here today, but you might not know exactly what you want to use with it, there is a ton of inspiration over there. Every crocheter's motto. It looks like they sent me yarn for the next holiday too, so we may have some opportunities to do a Nightmare Before Christmas type of theme. 2-season mashup is what's happening in this box. Tons of glittery yarn this year. I am so excited about that. Okay, where is my stand? I am all over the place today here. Pull this up. This is what you're gonna see. Banner with Halloween spooky awesomeness all down below. Yes! And it looks like right this second, everything is already on sale. Anywhere from 34 to 36% off. We're not even in October yet, and this yarn is on sale. No rhyme or reason, just gonna pick the very first one that I see, and we have Halloween sock yarn. Okay, so I have been obsessed with crocheting socks this year, so this is perfect. They also had this line out last year, and it sold out really quickly. I was probably a part of that because I ordered quite a bit of it. Okay, so Halloween sock yarn, and it is wool, superwash wool. Let's check out the tag first, because everything just comes together. Spooky yarn, spooky tag, kitty, pumpkin, ghost bats. Can't really ask for anything more. On the tag, they do have the color. So this is color number 3. Make sure that you do go to their actual site though, because they have super spooky names for every single one of these, but you have to go to their site to check it out. Okay, so let's pull this one up first. Halloween sock yarn wool Hobbii. Fingering / sock yarn, 75% wool, 25% nylon. I've made so many pairs of socks for this, so I can definitely tell you it is so freaking adorable. It's worth it. I love it. And like I said, I was hoping that they brought it back this year, and they totally did. So we're gonna see a lot of this in the Yarn Dungeon. 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. The recommended needles are 3mm. Okay, so 3, is that what it says on here too? Yes, 3mm crochet hook. Sometimes I do a little bit more. I think for my sock pattern, I do a 3.25. That's what I use. And it still works super perfect. Gives it a little bit of extra stretch, but you can, I mean, it's up to you. Go ahead and use whatever you want. The color is seriously everything. I can't even tell you how many pairs of socks I made from this one in particular. So it does say for care instruction, machine wash, but don't iron it, don't tumble dry it for obvious reasons. There are 7 colors in this line. Oh my gosh. Okay, 7 different colors in this line, and this one is called Scary Socks. That is the name of the very first one. Freaking love it. Like I said, they all have cutesy Halloween names. You have to check out their site. This is wool, so just keep that in mind when you're making your socks. They hold up really well. Let's just guess how many I have from last year. At least 20 different pairs of socks, and they still look brand new from last year. So just throwing that out there, totally worth the time to make your own socks. It says, thanks to Halloween sock wool. You'll now be able to scare people by knitting creepy Halloween socks or crochet, whatever you're here for. Halloween sock wool is terribly soft and has the prettiest print full of all the classic Halloween colors. You'll find everything from pumpkin orange to acid green and naturally lots of blacks. That is the main thing that I love about this. Pretty much in every single one of these, there is an underline, I think just one maybe. No, it's all of them. Okay, so every single color has black yarn that kind of ties the entire line together and really gives it that extra Halloween feel. I mean, there's no denying. This one, Scary Sock yarn, it is 100% Halloween yarn. The combination of the 75% superwash treated wool gives it that perfect balance of comfort and durability. I would 100% agree with that, yes. I'll be darned if the socks won't also be perfect for trick-or-treating when the little monsters in the family go out to scare the neighborhood out of their candy. I totally through and through believe that everybody needs Halloween socks. Remember, sock yarn can also be used for much more than socks. Continuing with the sock line, let's just grab another one of those. Yes, Halloween sock yarn, we have the classic orange, gray, and black. I absolutely adore this color combo. Okay, what number is it though? Color 7. I'll let you enjoy that yarn candy there. Color number 7, shocking socks. That's what this one is called. Another thing that I really love about these exact sock yarn is the way that the colors lay after you've worked them up is so freaking pretty. Like, obviously it depends on the size of hook that you use, if you end up holding 2 strands together or if you do it by itself, but every single time that I've worked it up anyways, it's super beautiful, super unique, and super spooky, obviously. So these ones are all gonna be the same for the tag anyways, but all right, we have those 2 up first. I'm not obviously going in order. We did 3, now we have 7. Let's see, what is this one? Is called color number 6, deep witchy purple and pink and gray. Color number 6, click, vampire socks. Absolutely. I have actually made socks from this particular one and I kept them for myself. A lot of times I make socks and I gift them away. No, not with this one. I kept it. I did, however, hold 2 strands together. So I'm interested to see what it looks like just doing it by itself. I could just look at these all day. So I hope that you can as well, because that's what we're here to do today. So excited to see this color again. The acid green is everything. Okay, color number 2. Let's find out what it's actually called. Creepy socks. Is there a more perfect name? Like, no, there is not. The correct answer is no. This is so perfect for it. Creepy socks. It looks fantastic worked up. The acid green is kind of perfectly throughout this, so it doesn't really like pool in one area too much. It's pretty much the entire sock ends up being covered in this acid green, which is absolutely what I want. Just the acid green and the witchy purple. I love it. There's nothing more I can say. I love it and I want to make everything. Leggings. Ooh, I think I definitely will try to make leggings with these this year. Be super extra to have socks with this and then put leggings over top of it. Or maybe I will do like knee-high socks with this. That would actually make more sense. I like the other way of layering it though, because I don't enjoy being cold. This would definitely keep me warm. One more time, because like I said, this is so far hands down my favorite one out of the sock collection, and it's called Creepy Socks. Next we have, this one reminds me of clowns in like the best way possible. Clowns. Oh, another thing I forgot to tell you. These are UV reactive. I don't know if they're designed to be that way, but in the yarn dungeon, I have a ton of either black lights or UV lights. In my closet, I actually have UV light for all the yarn that is reactive, and I will just like lay them on the shelf when I'm not using them for display. This one looks amazing under UV light. Okay, so this is called color number 5, Wicked. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. Wicked, because again, I think of like candy, clowns, circus. The only part of a haunted house that I'm like, ooh, ooh, I don't really want to go in there. The clown section gets me every single time. Number one with like the toxic orange, wicked purple, light purple there. Number one, what are you called? Mean socks. Obviously, they all remind me of some form of candy, but this just reminds me of that candy that you would eat that's like super intensely sugar because it has these really vibrant colors and you know that it's like almost gonna hurt your teeth as you're eating it, but it's Halloween, so you have to try some of it. Or like the lollipop. Okay, let's hold all of these up here so together you can see what they look like. That is what we love to see. So really, if you had a big project in mind, like maybe a wrap or a cardigan or something like that, it would be fantastic to make like granny squares out of this, combine them all together and make the ultimate Halloween cardigan. Oh, I'm starting to lose it. There we go, setting it down. You could easily use like a 4 or 4.5, make a loose stitch granny square, maybe like skull granny square, pumpkin granny square, something like that. Next up, we have a Twister Halloween. It is a sport weight, 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. If you have never tried Hobbie's Twister yarn, it is so incredibly soft. And then now it's soft and spooky. Check this out. Again, I am loving the classic orange, gray, and black. Absolutely love this. And it's super funny because I was just talking about it the other day, how I don't really have any cardigans or, well, not any, but not many cardigans that are classic orange, gray, and black colors. I have a lot of red and black and purple and black. I have a ton of purple and black actually, but not a lot with this. These work up really, really well for projects that you want to see the entire gradient color, because obviously you can tell it starts with white and then just like gradually goes out to these gorgeous colors. I have seen people make incredible shawls with skulls in it, shawls that have beautiful tassels on it. So if you like wraps and shawls, seriously, check this out. Okay, let's pull their actual spot up here. Twister Halloween, what is this color? I feel like I'll be able to find it really well. Yes. Okay, so this is color number 6, All Hallows Eve. A cardigan. That's what comes to my mind is a cardigan, because I feel like well, what's the size here? So 4.5, nope. 3.5 to a 4mm crochet hook is what it suggests. It's a number 2 fine. Oh, I didn't look on the socks, but I'm assuming a number 1 super fine. So I forgot to tell you that. Number 1 super fine for the socks, but that's pretty classic for sock yarn, right? So number 2, so again, this is thin and light. I never have a problem with it. Number 2 fine, and you can see that it's not super tightly wound, but it's also not fluffy, so it's really not gonna get snagged on your hook that easily. I've worked with this for many different projects and I never really had a problem with it, or it didn't fight me, you know? Like sometimes when it's really, really thin yarn, it tends to fight you and get caught on your hook all the time. In fairness, I was using like a granny square cluster stitch because it's like, it really emphasized the gradient of the yarn when I did it that way. Highly recommend, if you like the granny square cluster, check out the Twister Halloween. There are 4 different colors that it has in here. Color 1, 2, 4, and 5. So we have this one, and then we also have, this one is called Ghouls. I do actually have it from last year. The burnt pumpkin color to the witchy purple to the black. And it really is just one of those things, you have to see it when it's all worked up. As beautiful as it is like this, it's a whole different game when you see it out. And in every different project, it looks totally different how it lays. So fantastic. Oh, I forgot to tell you, they have one of my all-time favorite things. Did they do it again this year? Yes. This is seriously one of my favorite things, and you might laugh at it, but you know, it is. It's the small things that make a huge difference, especially when you're working with cakes. Easy start. Every single time you know exactly where it is, because this is just like in the middle there. So with the twisters, you know that you can just like dig inside there, find the little piece, the other side does say Hobbii, find the little piece of paper in there and then just go. How awesome is that? I don't know, like I said, I get real excited from that because no one likes to fight with their yarn, especially when you're in the middle of a project. I'd hate trying to like dig and find the center. Where is the pole? You end up having a ton of yarn carnage all over the place, or it just like, it gets tangled because you pull too much out. No, with this, it's you pull out what you need. And as you can tell, I mean, I just pulled that tiny little bit. That's it. That's all I pulled. I know exactly where it is, and I can just like safely tuck that back right there. Let's be honest, I'm gonna start working on this one for sure today. As much as I love the sock yarn, I think for sure we're gonna start on this one. Pumpkin Smash, that one I did miss out on last year, but they brought it back, so I'll show you a picture of it. The jack-o'-lantern at the end of the night of Halloween. Yes, that's 100% what it looks like. Screams Halloween. I mean, is there anything yet that hasn't screamed Halloween? The last one that they have on here is called the Fright Night, which I do have. This reminds me in movies where people are walking through graveyards. We have the dark blue all the way to the black, witchy purple all the way to pink. Another combo that would look beautiful together. But again, I really do feel like these ones are designed for 1 or 2 cake projects. It really allows the yarn to kind of have its own moment. It like sings. Like I said, I used it with the granny cluster stitch, and you can see the transitions from the colors. You can use it however you want, but I feel like it's really nice when you can see the actual like start to finish of the color, and then the project is done. You know what I'm saying? 1,904 yards, so there is a lot in this. Like I said, I made a cardigan with it last year, and then I used some of their, one of their black yarns to do the ribbing around it, but you can get a lot out of it. So I ended up using 2 of these for the cardigan and a little bit of black put all together, but like, it's a hefty one and it's awesome. Care instruction, machine wash. Again, I did not do that with mine. So another exciting thing, machine wash, lay flat to dry. And then it does give you like kind of the area where like how hot your water should be. I highly suggest taking a look at that if you plan on actually putting it in the washer. We've cranked the scares up to the max with Twister Halloween, which is the dark version of our popular Twister cake yarn. Gone are the delicate pastels. This is the monster mash of classic Halloween colors that are terribly exciting to work with. Twister Halloween has colorways that are so gruesomely fascinating that the hairs on the back of your neck will stand up when the colors unravel. I do agree with that. It is very mesmerizing as the colors are coming out as you're working with them. There are many types of cake yarns out there, and most often they are made from pure cotton. In the Twister line, the cotton is combined with acrylic to make a lighter and more form-stable result, and the threads in the yarn are lightly spun to make it easier to work with. Yes, I do appreciate that they are spun together. One skein of Twister Halloween has the incredible running length of an entire kilometer, which means that you'll have plenty of yarn to make a complete shawl. I should have just read this first. Yeah, that's what they're designed for. Shawls, wraps, go that direction. Use this Halloween version to make a scary shawl or a fun Halloween costume, or maybe a crochet tote bag for the trick-or-treaters. Ooh, okay. Get your witch's cauldron full of bubbling ideas, and also don't forget to share your creation. Since they suggest using this with a shawl, you click on the bottom and there's pattern suggestions for this as well. And I was just talking about the granny cluster stitch. This is what I'm talking about. Absolutely perfect for this type of yarn. This may actually be the pattern that I make with it. And it works up really, really quickly too. That's what I love about these types of cardigans, because I can decide right now, days away from October, that I want to make an entire full cardigan. This pattern, you'd be able to like totally fly through it. There are not any pictures yet for the Halloween sock yarn. So if you make something with this, totally tag Hobbii in it. Let's see, hashtag Hobbii Halloween sock yarn. Tag them in that, because the photo gallery is 0 right now. There is nothing there. Start doing it. Hashtag Hobbii Halloween sock yarn. Ghoul Squad, attack that hashtag. Universe XL Halloween premium acrylic yarn. This was my favorite color from this line last year. This is number 3, Zombie Planet. That's what it's called. Okay. Moss colored green all the way to acid green, super witchy purple. And it does have that little bit of a metallic strand through it, which at first I didn't know if I was gonna love, but I worked up an entire sweater with it and I love it. Let's read more about this. This is 98% premium acrylic and 2% polyester. You get 100 grams in here, 240 yards. It suggests using a 4 to 5 millimeter crochet hook. Also, again, it is machine wash. Care instructions, don't tumble dry. Obviously, lay it flat to dry. It has that metallic strand in there. It would just turn into an entire mess. Don't throw it in the dryer. Same tag, just different color. So this one does have photos. I will get to that, but first let's read the blurb about it. Universe XL Halloween came right over from the dark side, an eerily beautiful addition to our popular Universe family. I will say I do really enjoy working with this. It is a little bit fuzzy. It is not like super tightly wound. So just keep that in mind when you're working with it. It's not a deterring factor in any way, shape, or form, but sometimes there are particular projects that work better with this type of yarn. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The usual harmonious colors have been replaced by thrillingly vibrant colors oozing with personality. The yarn has long and beautiful colorways with gorgeous transitions between the different colors, and it even has a glitter thread, adding that touch of real Halloween magic. The color of the glitter thread matches the primary colors of the yarn to give it a subtle and elegant effect. It's soft, and you won't feel the glitter thread in the final product. I agree with that. Yes. Again, I made a cardigan out of it and I was a little bit nervous because I don't like that feel of the metallic. It didn't bother me at all. When you are working up with it, however, you do notice it a little bit. Universe XL Halloween is nice and chunky and amazing to work with. It has a running length of 241 yards, can be used for any project where you'd like to use a little extra volume. You can make the craziest Halloween sweater, did it, already there. Funky hat, or maybe a magical enchanting shawl in hypnotic purple or poisonous green colors. Universe XL Halloween can be used year-round, 100%. 3 patterns that they suggest with this. One is a capelet, one is a wristlet, and one is a headband. Let's show this capelet because this is gorgeous. First of all, it looks warm AF. Second of all, that design is fantastic. And imagine this with the poison green. I knew that was gonna happen. My battery died, but I am back. Got more coffee here. Let's see. Okay, the second one, Universe XL Halloween. We have this color. Now imagine this in that capelet pattern. I feel like it was designed for that. This is color number 2. Okay, color number 2, and it's called Dark Matter. Yes, a capelet made of dark matter. The yarn weight is a light worsted to a DK. I would say it is definitely a light DK. So when you're working with it, because it kind of ends up squishing down a little bit, so DK is exactly where I would say it's at. Next we have almost a Coraline type of color. It just blends into the yarn dungeon. It really does. All of the beautiful purples. Let's pull up the swatch of it actually. There is most definitely blue that bleeds into the dark purple and the witchy purple too. What is this one called? Horror Halo. I'm telling you, I'm here for these Halloween names. We have one left and it is called Intergalactic Monster. Say less. I just feel like this yarn was 100% designed for that capelet pattern. That intense pink there, it is like so neon that it almost burns your eyes. That's the kind of pink that I like. A little bit of gray. Did I even see that in there? Oh yeah, the gray is like right next to the black. I was just so distracted by the orange and pink, which I love that color combo. Some people I know are like not a fan of orange and pink since they're so close on the color wheel, but I personally love them together. If you wanted to make something with granny squares or the granny square stitch, stunning. We have another sock line to go through. So yeah, we get 2 full sock lines this year for the Hobbii Halloween yarn. And this one is all about glitter. Very similar colors, but just covered in glitter. Starting with number 1, we have Mean Sock with a dose of glitter. It's same exact thing as the other sock that we have. So here's the Mean version without the glitter and with the glitter. Tags are exactly the same, but upside down. There we go. Don't ask me to choose which line I prefer because both is the answer. It doesn't feel like it has a metallic strand. When you run your fingers over it, I'm not like feeling the intensity of the metallic strand. I think the strand is just small enough that you're not gonna notice it. I will definitely work this up in socks though, because I'm normally pretty particular with my sock and how they feel and how they fit. So the fact that there's a glitter strand in it, that's totally different than anything that I've ever used for socks. So every single one of these also have hashtags. So whichever one you get, don't forget about the hashtag, because this one also, the photo gallery is 0. It's empty, which obviously because it's a brand new line, but hashtag Hobbii Halloween sock wool glitter. It's a long hashtag, but seriously, let's fill up the photo gallery here. Everything is same, care, yarn weight, everything is the same. The only thing that is different is the abundance of glitter that is present in this. So we have number 1, Mean Sock. Number 2, creepy glitter socks. I'm getting a ton of Beetlejuice vibes from this. And like the way the light catches the glitter, I'm so freaking excited to work these up. Number 3 is Scary. Scary. The orange again, the orange and purple. Like I said, these are all the same colors of the original line. They just have the glitter in it, but you have to see it in person, you know? Number 4, zombie glitter socks. Acid yarn, or not acid yarn, acid green color. There we go. Again, under UV light, this is going to be stunning. Honestly, the more that I feel it, it really doesn't feel that much different than the actual sock line yarn. I was worried about the metallic strand, I really was, but like comparing the two to each other, it's honestly not that noticeable. Number 5 is Wicked. We have, yes, Wicked with the glitter, clown candy in sock form. Number 6 is the vampire glitter. Okay, I think I almost enjoy this one better in the glitter one, which that's saying a lot for me because, like I said, I don't normally gravitate towards glitter metallic type of yarn, but for some reason, I love this one in the glitter. Let's compare the two. Okay, so this is the plain one, and then this is the amplified vampire yarn. I don't know, I love them both. I think it's probably just because this is new and I wanna work with it. That's probably what it is. Lastly, number 7, we have the shocking glitter socks, which is the classic orange, gray, black Halloween. The other thing that I forgot to mention is if you've noticed, the glitter kind of matches the color palette that's in here. So like this is an orange glitter that's throughout it. The vampire one was a pinky glitter. The clown one was a blue glitter. And then this one has the green glitter. Also, if you wanted to make socks, but more like slipper socks, this would be perfect. Grab this combo, same color, it'll just end up being a little bit thicker and a tiny little bit of glitter would poke through. There are so many options. Just because the photo gallery is empty right now doesn't mean that there are not a million different things that you could use these for. We have one more line to go through, which is another version of the Universe Halloween yarn line. So these ones that we were chit-chatting about, but in sock weight. Again, obsessed with socks this year. So fingering weight, sock yarn, superwash treated wool. Click on that one and we'll pull it up. There are 4 different colors. We'll just start with the color number 1. Again, correlating hashtag Hobbii Universal Halloween Sock Wool. Photo gallery, it is empty because this is a new line again this year, so let's attack it. The spooky universe is expanding, and here's Universe Halloween Sock Wool. Let's grab the first one, is Intergalactic Monster Socks. An insanely durable addition to the Universe family. No photos, there is one pattern, and it's ankle socks. Okay, it looks like it's knit. free sock pattern that they're suggesting with this yarn. Number 2, we have dark matter with the sparkles. So they're exactly the same as the Universe XL Halloween. It's just in sock weight form. Like the metallic strand is tightly wound to the yarn, but I mean that like it's not clustered together. Like there's a bit of space in between each wrap around, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel scratchy to me is what I'm saying. You can't immediately tell that there is metallic strand in it. Okay, next is 3, Zombie Planet. You know that I will be making socks from this. Zombie Planet, yes, 100% will be making socks with this. You can see the metallic a little bit better in this one. And then the last one is Horror Halo Socks, which to me looks like Coraline colors. Which one, if I only had time to start right this second, I mean, I'm gonna do them all, right? Like all of them, but like for today, like this week, which one would you start with? Shout out comments down below, which sock pattern or sock colorway should I start with? All right, so as you probably know by now, by the title or the name of the title, this is part 1 of 2 of this unboxing. I just ended up chatting about every single skein a lot more than I intended to, which really is not shocking in any way, shape, or form because there was a lot to chat about. And I still have quite a bit of yarn to chit chat about. So instead of having an incredibly long video, this is gonna be broken into 2 different parts. If you're watching this right now as it's being released, part 2 will come out tomorrow. So make sure that you have your notification bell turned on so you know exactly when it comes out, and then you can come on back to the yarn dungeon and we'll continue to chat. If however you're watching it later, it's linked down below. Go ahead and click on the button and continue chatting yarn with me right this second. But for now, that is it. So thank you for hanging out with me in the yarn dungeon, checking out this brand new spooky yarn. Definitely make sure that you check out Hobbii yarn down below. Like I said, all of this yarn is on sale right this second. So go ahead and check it out. But for right now, that is it. So have a fantastically spooky rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video.